Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. I've got a nice smirk on my face. I wonder why. Forest, yeah? Keeping Liverpool stuck in the forest, yeah? Against the tricky trees, yeah? Yeah, okay. Some drop points, showing some cracks, even for Liverpool, Another draw. Me and your clubs are intertwined potentially, but make sure you smash the likes. I'm going to break down the game as I've done other games. No, it's a draw, and you know what? Fair play. Some Forest fans felt they could have come away with something a little bit more. But let's get straight down into it. Let's get straight down into business. You lot made me happy today. I must admit. I must admit. But yeah, look, this is exactly what I've come up with. Hopefully, you guys might agree. Add your own comments. I know I'm shameless a little bit about Forest at times, doubting them more than that, but that's not Forest. It's Wolfie. It's all Wolfie, I promise. So let's get straight into it. What we learned, what I learned, and you know what? Fair play. I made to say I'm wrong. At the end of the day, I made to say, you know what? I think these lot might be able to do it. They might, when it comes push to shove, if they keep playing like that, Forest have got one of the better defenses in the league, and let's get straight down into it anyways. Chris Wood in the form of his life, and what a finish. I believe it was early in the game in the first half, and before you know it, like, was it, I can't remember what minute it was, but it was early. And I'm thinking, wait, hold on. I'm trying to keep up with all these other games. I've got Chelsea on one hand. I've got Man City. And then, of course, you've got the main game of the night. And Chris would come up with the goods again. It's crazy how, when a striker gets a bit of confidence about him, what magic he can supply and what he can do. And, I think Elanga got the assist for him in the end. And even then, I thought he had a bit of he had to do a lot of hard work getting back into shape and whatnot. And we'll talk about that at another point. And I was one to even doubt Chris Wood. And even now, he's just like, I don't even know his total goals. Is it 12 or 13 Premier League goals? I just wonder where he can actually get to for his season. He's like one of the older heads in the league. Proper Barkley's number 9, still good in the air, can play a little bit of ball in as well when he does his hold up. Right, even just running in behind or peeling off. He's just start appreciating these players a lot more. And I'm starting to appreciate players like Chris Wood. When they do get into the mood, he has got one of the more deadly finishes in the league, even, proper, like, you used to see that in the championship on a regular. So many good finishes, but the technical aspect of their game is never going to get them to the top. But all fair play to him. He made me happy. This guy's definitely a Man City fan, because the way he's playing against Liverpool, he looked like he was in a Man City top even. But definitely good part to play. I think he could have come off a little bit earlier. I thought when he was getting a little bit more, he was getting a little bit more better, or in terms of getting a better of like Gravenberch, because I believe Gravenberch got put centre back in the end. When Kanate came off, and then they brought like Simicast, yada yada yada, etc. Jota. For me, I feel like he needed another 10, 15 minutes in his game. He was like, I thought there was a winner coming. There was something coming if, with him on the pitch, but it wasn't to be, so yeah, I feel like he ran his socks off, well deserved as well. And then on to your next game and see what happens there. And then my next part is, Liverpool were finding a width hard to adjust towards, Callum Hudson-Odoi in the first half. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to glaze it. I don't think today was his best game. In terms of how good he is on the ball, I feel like he kept like wasting little bits of chances, little bits of runs, this, that, and the other. And I'd like, if you lot agree, then even better. But I thought Elanga was the one in the first half. He just stretched that pitch. The whole idea was stretch that pitch. When it comes to Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, whether they got a little bit more adventurous in their game, I feel like Forest really exploited that down the flanks. Because Gibbs White, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Gibbs White. And I feel like he's definitely, whether he signs a new contract or not, I think like he's a quality player. And there was some times when he was on the ball, especially in the first half, sometimes even in the second, there was just little moments where he could just be that little bit better to, to feed the wingers a little bit more. Even when Nico Williams was busting and got, or Ola Aina, it's like, lift your head up, spray the ball onto the right-hand side. He's ready to go, and just don't think he was quite up to the pace. Defensive aspect, amazing. But I feel like he could have been a bit better. But regardless, Liverpool really struggled in the first half against Forest for me. They had, cool, they had a couple chances like you did as well. Liverpool, if I remember, Liverpool had like 9 shots, 0 on target in the first half. And with Forest, they had like 3 but 2 on target. if we want to keep it to chance creation, it's not the greatest of chances that were created. I wouldn't even say Forest created abundance of chances, but they fed into the game. And if Forest wingers like on the flanks decided they wanted to put a little bit better deliveries in the box or quality of ball, then you had to have another situation on your hand. But if buts or maybes, right? I thought two players to highlight for me was Yates and Anderson. And even before, I think Anderson might have come off. I think Dominguez came on, if I'm right. But Yates, I'm usually onto him. I feel like this guy's just the old regime of Forest. Like he probably shouldn't even be starting. To be fair, I think he's your club captain, right? And then obviously Anderson, what a player Anderson, what a skill. Like I watched this guy play, and he was, like McAllister Granville having such a good battle with these two, but these two just made it solid, made it so difficult for Liverpool to penetrate the middle of the park. And them two were working as a unit, parallel to one another. And I feel like their hard work will go undone because they had to do a lot of leg work. You can see Yates shouting, commanding, making sure everyone's together. And you can really see that them two are building quite a solid partnership. And Dominguez is just a nice piece to like add on to the fire, add more fuel to the fire. There's some quality players at Forest, in my opinion, and I have overlooked them a little bit too long. And this is exactly why I thought, you know what, even if it is a draw, I'm gonna go and talk about it today, right? So yeah, let's just go from there. And then the next part is my favorite part of the game a little bit. Is resilience and determination in abundance. Name it, first half, second half, break it down however you wish. When I saw these, like the Forest players running back, like busting a gut, I think Elanga lost the ball straight. Like I can't click my fingers, but pretend I could. Yeah, just like that. Everyone is doggying back to get into shape. Nico Williams, phenomenal game, by the way, phenomenal game. He did get dunced a couple of times by Salah, who doesn't in a game, but he was wicked. So much energy down that side. Nearly got injured in the end, even blocking a shot. But yeah, it's just I'm just highlighting that. You can talk about not in a Forest defense all game, but Forest were hungry. Don't get me wrong, Liverpool second half they came out like I think after about 5-10 minutes, especially when the subs came on, there was a different energy about them, relentless. And then of course that pretty much puts me in my next point is Sels. Sels is clearly right now the best keeper in the league, and don't even tell me Allison, oh look at him, or who's the next one that they love. Just name it, your Edisons of the world, or he's not even playing, to be fair. Anyone. Sels is clearly right now on form, the best goalkeeper in the league. In the league. In the end, don't get me wrong, Murillo was a beast, and we'll talk about him and how good he is. But Sels, for me, especially with that last couple minute saves, there was one guy bottom bins. Oh my word, that is a proper keeping display. What a way to keep your team in the game. Because honestly, that guy must be going to the change room. If not everyone is giving a little slap on his head to say, well done, pat on the back. I don't know. Everyone deserves probably a pat on the back. There's some players, normally attacking players, might look at themselves a little bit more in disgust in terms of what they could do more. But for me, Sels, oh my word, some of the saves he was pulling out. He's doing David James theatrics. He's got into bottom corners like he's David De Gea. Salah was finding it difficult with his presence alone because his positioning was so good and his diving was even better. Sels deserves the man of the match. But it doesn't really matter who gets it because at the end of the day, the end goal is pretty much either fighting for that league, if possible, another Leicester situation 10 years ago, or getting European football where Nottingham Forest probably belongs. Such a huge football club. I haven't mentioned it in here right now yet, but the fans were absolutely bouncing. The fan, this is what I call proper atmosphere. I usually get on to Wolfie about the atmosphere at Nottingham Forest. You lot can tell me a lot more about your history, your fan base, what it's like even in your ground recently. But the energy was roaring. Honestly, bless Liverpool's little cotton socks. They tried to. The away fans tried, but not the Forest fans were just out singing them on a regular. It's clear as day as that. I really enjoyed like listening to the fans in the background. It was just constant on again and again and again. It reminded me, I went to the Arsenal game versus Man United in the FA Cup, and it was like, I'm in the Arsenal end, by the way, but I'm watching all my fans absolutely buzzing until we conceded. But after that, we're buzzing as well from start to finish. Wicked fans. But yeah, I thought that the fans deserve a lot of the praise as well. Definitely driving at the 12th man, the driving of the energy, the force behind the team deserves a lot of praise. Murillo, You do really well to keep hold of Murillo at the end of the season. If you don't want to be a serious team, whatever package or project you can present to him, if you can keep Murillo and Milenkovic solid, honestly, solid partnership. And then you know what the maddest thing is I know you lot play quite a lot of counter-attacking football, not all games, but it's the fact that they can also play. And even under pressure, they can play. Olaena can play. Nico Williams can play. I saw it when Liverpool were trying to press you, sorry, in tight spaces. Bar maybe Yates a couple times. And I think I see who else lost it in, I think it might have been Alanga as well, trying to collect it from deep, trying to get up the field. Or it might have been me, Hudson Odoi, but like a couple instances, but that your defense is so technically secure as well that they can also play out from the back. So I feel like Nottingham Forest could play quite expansive. You got to get yourself an extra couple quality midfielders, maybe, or wingers. I don't know. Whatever you lot think's best for your team. If you can keep this team together, you got something good going on. You know, Aston Villa are talking how buzzing they are with their team. They went backwards this year, in my opinion, in terms of their recruitment. But Nottingham Forest could go right with this. You know, I said this. You know, all you do is missing a couple big teams from back in the day. You got the 80s back. You know, you got Arsenal, you got Forest, you've got Liverpool. All you got to do is add Tottenham and Everton to the fold, and you got the 80s back. Literally, Man United's down there in the dumps, pretty much, unless it was like when Fergie took over. I think I can't remember when they finished. Can't remember what position. You know, Man City. I don't even know if they're in the division. To be fair, might have been, and even a couple other teams as well, just in and around. But yeah, Murillo's a beast. I don't know how much more to describe him. You lot have got the words for me, but that guy is a monster. He just yeah, he just cleared everything. He defended everything. And not to put the praise away from the others, he was just so sick. So sick. And in the end, you know, when I say I hold my hands up, you know, top four really might be on the cards. You know, I think I've underrated Forest or just didn't want to. Just because of Wolfie, by the way, just because I'm not a big up, not a Forest fan TV, even. But see that I can enjoy watching football like that. I can really get behind that. And you know, I'm really in favour of Newcastle at the moment, but it's like Chelsea are dropping points, and I don't expect them to keep dropping points. Arsenal are a bit in the zone of here, and I wonder if there's a couple teams outside of your original top six that can go and maybe grab those positions. But obviously, we need more of a sample size towards at least March before the international break, and then we'll see what goes on from there. But big up anyways, people. I hope you enjoyed that breakdown. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new. I might start doing some Forest videos. Who knows? But yeah, in a bit. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Add your own points, add your own discretions as well, whatever. And we'll go from there.